Welcome back to Forsaken. This is the finale, part 15, and we're on Tlaloc Catacombs. Gave that my best shot. Let's see. Shortly before the Cataclysm, scientists sent an android into the depths of the Tlaloc ruins to learn more about this ancient civilization. Since everyone is now dead, the research project was forgotten until now. Your goal is to enter the ruins and locate this android. Its AI chipset technology is considered valuable by collectors. Just be prepared for the fact that it's probably armed to the core and will pretty much attack anything that isn't made out of metal. Oh boy, that sounds like quite the ordeal. Let's see. So we start immediately. Immediately we're getting shot at by shit because it's the penultimate level. Of course, it's gotta start difficult, and what better way to make a level difficult than to catch you off guard. So let's see where we gotta go now. I think there's an opening up here. Yes, there is. Now, this environment is going to start to look pretty damn familiar to you if you've played the N64 version. Do any of these tile sets look familiar? Well, they're going to be pretty familiar real soon. There's nothing over here. You know, this is an oddly conspicuous little opening. You'd think there would be something there, but there isn't. That's just how they've designed it. Ah, look at this. This reminds me of something, but I just can't put my finger on it. Okay, basically, this is actually the second level of the N64 version on, I guess, I'm going to call it the normal route, or technically it's the easy route, but it's the route that you're most likely to be sent down, because again, the N64 version has this dynamic difficulty thing where the route changes depending on how quickly you beat the first level. So I guess not so much dynamic and more set in stone after the first level. But yeah, pretty much everything about it is... funnily enough, it's not the same level. It uses the same assets and pretty much the same layout. But the way the level is structured and your objective is different, to be fair. So they've done a pretty good job repurposing all of this into something different. I mean, for the N64 version, because again, I'm assuming this was the prioritized version. Because every game has, like, the main version, and then... fuck. We gotta sell a few more copies. Let's hire some random team, make it for the PS2. I think, wasn't the sequel for this game gonna be on the PS2, but then they canceled it? Of course it was gonna be on the PS2, because that thing sold like 1 million copies. Well, I guess I should say it sold 1 million units. That's what you say for game consoles. See, the same crystals, same everything. It's literally the same level, except it's not the same level. It's the same layout, but they have recontextualized it, so it is still a pretty fresh experience. And the music is obviously different. It's that classic Forsaken theme. It's basically, yeah, it is the theme song pretty much, even though it's not the intro theme. And of course, what a great addition. They decided to put this bastard in this level. These are like, I think this might be my single least favorite enemy type, because it's the kind of enemy that I've never liked in any game. It's not necessarily an enemy, it's just something that creates hazards for you. So it's just like, yep, drop all these fucking mines, and now I have to get rid of them. These guys are hit scan bastards. Okay, I'm not sure if they're like full hit scan or partially, because sometimes you can kind of avoid them. But oftentimes what ends up happening is you just kind of run into the room, and before you know it, half your health is gone. Okay, yeah, I see. I've become what I've sworn to destroy. Let's switch over. There you go. I kind of wish that all of the mine-based secondary weapons were maybe a separate button, kind of like how in newer games, grenades, for example, will be their own key. I just feel like that would eliminate some accidental suicides, because let me tell you, you have no idea how many times I will not be paying attention to what I have as a secondary, and it turns out I got a mine as a secondary, so I back up. While I'm backing up, trying not to get shot, I place down a mine and I get blown up, because, yeah, I don't know, maybe I should just be paying attention to that, but I have no response, to be honest. I guess it is just a skill issue. Let's see, where the hell am I supposed to go now? Because this area, as you can see, is blocked off, which must mean it's the classic first-person shooter thing where you gotta go back. Oh, wait. I could have sworn I hit that. There you go. Now that area must be active. Let's see. Stone door nearby is open. Yeah, exactly. It's this stone door. What all of this Egyptian imagery, despite the fact that this game... I don't know, I still have no idea what this game, like where this game takes place. I guess on Earth, to an extent, except it's completely different. It's obviously post-apocalyptic, but like the man-made apocalypse type thing, you know, where it's like, we decided to just explode everything because, well, no, we didn't decide to, but it was a subatomic experiment. So what was it? Subatomic experiment gone wrong. Now, back to the whole N64 thing, because this level is basically the same. I realized that, yes, the PC version, well, I mean, the Nightdive version of this game features some of the N64 exclusive levels. Now, I'm not going to be covering them because they're clearly, I mean, they're labeled as bonus. They're not really part of the campaign, so to speak, and maybe this is just an OCD thing, but I always feel the need to play a game in a specific, curated sort of way. You know, that's why, for example, you know Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, I did a video on, those are the first 3 episodes of Vivid Noise, actually. And that game was on N64 and PS1. And I guess because they maybe had a little more time or there was just more space, even though I believe the N64 version is better, the PS1 version has not only just a bunch of extra music, because duh, CD, but it also featured free extra stages, but I don't really consider them to be part of the game in a way because they're not part of the Hot Wheels Cup. You never actually race on them in any sort of, you know, mode that involves a sense of progression. It's just, hey, we can't go here, obviously. You know, it's just like, oh, look, some extra stages. Fuck, you cannot avoid these. You can't even shoot them down. You'd think it'd be better if you could just shoot them out of the air, but no. And now my shields are low. Well, there you go. Incoming. Fuck. Okay, there's nothing more unfun than getting rammed up in the air. I mean, granted, that's why the game has a rear view mirror, but I've disabled it because the concept of a rear view mirror in a first-person shooter is a little bit odd to me, and I've already talked about this. I don't really like rear view mirrors in general because they kind of, I don't know, like, it's not like they don't disorientate me or anything, but I don't know, just having another render of the screen like that just kind of fucks with my, with something. I can't describe it, but let's see. So we got to go down, but we also have all of these different rooms. A level design trope that I'm very mixed on, because on one hand it makes the level more interesting, but also makes the level more anxiety inducing because you're like, well, am I going the right way? I have no idea. Whoa, look at the colored lighting. Does it go away when you... Oh, it goes away when you pick them up. You know, I had no idea these individual pickups had that different element of lighting, unless it's just scripted for this one room. You know, speaking of scripting, speaking of game stuff, you know what I just found out that I'm pretty sure most people found out quite easily, but it took me forever because I'm kind of dumb? So, you know how in the Unreal Engine you can have things that move? And you want those things that can move, they're called movers, and you place them with a regular brush. You want them to have a custom texture, so they fit in with the level. Well, here's the thing. It took me until literally today to figure out how to assign a custom texture to one of those movers. You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to highlight it, right-click, and then click Show Polygons. And then it shows you the geometry that it would be rendering, and that it goes away when you build the level, because of course it would. But yeah, until you've built the level again, it stays like visible as a normal object. And then you can assign the texture to the surface. I know this is like really obscure random information because I'm pretty sure not a lot of people are using Unreal Engine 1 apart from, you know, very, very dedicated like modders and... actually, there are some people still making like custom levels for Duke Nukem, like the 2001 version, because I believe they eventually at some point switched to Unreal. Right, because it was initially going to be a Quake thing, then it went Quake 2, but then it didn't go Quake free. It was, you know, Frame Raider is a really good series on Duke Nukem 3D's, no, not Duke Nukem 3D, Duke Nukem Forever's development. It's, you know, quite infamous. I don't really have to talk about it too much. Oh, looky, another one of those dick faces with the fucking mines. I'm gonna take him. Hold on, make sure I'm actually shooting something at him this time. There. Oh, well, that didn't take him out. Not enough. Multiple fire rocket. That's the best one. I've always loved like super rapid fire weapons, even if it's not necessarily the most powerful. Just the fact that you're shooting a lot, really, really quickly, that in of itself just feels good. You know, not regardless of whether or not it's actually the most effective weapon objectively. Okay, finally we have a new area we can visit. Let's see. We got more stuff in here to shoot because that's how it always goes. But what's this? The Titan. I've already made a joke. Wait a second. It's actually called the Titan Star Missile. That's really interesting. So the game actually has different names for them compared to what the, you know, the announcer lady says. And Golden Power Pod, of course. So I'm actually going to use the nitrous this time because I've weirdly enough been underutilizing the nitrous even when it's unlimited with the Golden Power Pod. There's no reason not to use it, and yet I keep not using it because I have no idea why. I guess it's because I don't have much of a habit of using it to begin with when it is limited. So even when you make it unlimited, I don't really let myself use it too much. But look at that. Look at the field of view. Whoa. You can see the orbiting thingies around me. That's really cool. And if you set the field of view to 120, you know, like if you really increase it in the options, they're just constantly there, and it's a little bit annoying. Not gonna lie, I wish you could like make it invisible or something, but I'm not playing it that high of a field of view because honestly for this game it's a little bit overkill. And I swear this game's field of view is not set the way it normally would be in a lot of other first-person shooters. Like 100 feels more than 100 in any other game. You know, like I've recently started playing at much higher fields of view, especially in a widescreen game. You know, 4x3 game you can get away with a little bit less. But here, when I go to 120, it's like fucking, you know, when you drink a freaking speed potion in Minecraft. It's just ridiculous. So maybe that's not the horizontal field of view, but the vertical, or just some other way of calculating it. I'm not sure. You'd think it would be the same, but it's not really. Like this right now, this 100 setting feels like 120. Even though it obviously wouldn't be. Actually, yeah, I did a little sneaky behind you guys' back. You probably didn't see it because I edited it out, but yeah, I turned God mode on for a bit because I was just not fucking having it. But now we have enough shield, so I feel pretty confident that we can go back. Let's see. Door is locked. Yeah, I know. You gotta kill this dude to get... Yeah, you actually gotta kill this guy as well, who looks like something out of a completely different game. Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go? Is he gonna go? Boom. And... 3, 2, 1.
Is that the best you can do?
Look at that thing. It's freaking huge. Collect computer capsule. This game predicted those little micro PCs that would become very popular in schools and such. I used to work at the school, and all the PCs were, well, they had normal computers too, but they also had these tiny little hubs. You know, they weren't really full-size PCs, but they still, you know, you connect it to a monitor. Either way, we're done with this stage. Into the light. And we're off to the final level. This is Slowlock Temple. Why the hell did you have to make it like... Whatever. You have uncovered a temple built by an ancient and forgotten Earth civilization. Their way of life, as well as their exotic and weird customs, are shrouded in mystery. It is rumored that these ancient temples could hold fabulous wealth, or, for the unwary, everlasting damnation. Find the crystal and... Okay, yeah, basically they scroll the shit way too fast, but here's the gist of it. You gotta go, and you don't actually have to find a crystal. That's optional. What you really have to do is kill this big android dude. I think that's what it was. And you go back here and shoot this thing. This is the exit, okay? If anyone's like looking this up for whatever reason to figure out how to beat this level, because it's stupid as hell, this is it. This is the exit. It's not interactable right now. It'll become... Or was it this one? What? Yeah, this door cannot... It doesn't look like a door, guys. You can't just do that. You can't just put up random fucking tile that doesn't really look like a door and call it a door. Like, if you look on the map... Well, that doesn't even look that much like an opening. Point is, that killed me several times because I had no idea what to do. Because, spoilers, there's a time limit at the end. Now, they try and bait you right here with some... with this, I think that's a laser, and you can get it if you just suicide your way through. And I have so many fucking lives, I could probably just, you know what, hold on, let's take these guys out. And actually, you know what, I'm not that big of a fan of the laser. In theory, it's really cool and it's hit scan and everything, but honestly, it's not, like, it doesn't feel that great to use. I think this game has a weird case of, I don't know if I want to call it Cuphead syndrome, or just, I don't know, any game where, like, the first weapon still feels really good anyway, even though it shouldn't, because it's the first one. That's, like, the whole point. But honestly, the Pulsar is my second favorite weapon after the Sus Gun. Let's see, destroy all airborne enemies before... Okay, just destroy all the enemies, because most of the enemies in this game are airborne, except for this guy. Don't really know why they had to specify that. It's like, yeah, no shit, just kill all the enemies anyway. That's what you're supposed to do. It's really weird how, like, sometimes games will remind you of that when, I mean, you're getting fucking shot at. Like, there's this thing called, you know, yeah, I think that's what it's called, the preservational instinct, survival instinct. Like, basically, you kill anything that tries to kill you. That's how it works. You know, there's no other point. These are some nice looking doors, and I think this one's also available, but you don't want to go through. Obviously, you want to go down here and shoot these invisible pricks. Well, they're not really invisible, but I think that's the whole idea. I also never understood why, like, some games will have, like, oh, you actually get an invisibility thing afterwards. That's neat, but it's like, it just kind of looks cool. It's a cool little transparency effect, except for the fact that, wait, I swear to God there was, yeah, okay, you gotta kill this guy. See, and I was ignoring me, because technically, he can't see me. But I swear I remember there was something I had to activate down here after collecting that orb, right? That opened up the, yep, you gotta shoot these little pharaoh dudes. Because what's up with this level and just all of these obscure ass things you can interact with that don't look. What did they hire the guys who made Hexen to do this shit? And no, I'm never ever going to do any sort of video on Hexen, be it a playthrough or a scripted review, nothing. I don't hate that game necessarily. I think it's actually a really interesting take on, because it's, you know, it's ultimately a Doom game, but it's really not. Like, yeah, it runs on Doom tech, but it's so different. It's not like Heretic at all. Like, Heretic is literally just medieval Doom, you know, fantasy Doom. That's it. I quite like it. I think it's a very, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of fantasy stuff, but I do really like Heretic. Remember, the gods damn those who defile their altars. What that means is, I think I'm just gonna have to, ooh, if you hold shift, you move forward, even if you don't have nitrous. That's cool. I think this is a trap. You just kind of have to fucking go. Oh, you need the golden idol to, there it is. Now you have to get the fuck out. And they don't give you any nitrous, because of course, and I have no idea how to reliably get out of this. I'm gonna probably enable God mode in a few seconds, or maybe even no clip, because I have no idea how to get out of this legitimately. Honestly, I've never figured it out. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Let go, maybe? And wait, hold on. Yes, okay, get the fuck out while you still can. Good. Thank God. I like these little God Ray effects. They're not like real God Rays, but I miss fake God Rays in games. Need for Speed Free and also Hot Wheels Turbo Racing on N64 had that really cool effect as well. Like these fake God Rays, they were just textures. I really do love when games will have these very performance-friendly solutions to, you know, the kind of graphical effects that you would typically pull off in real time. And I've actually started playing, you know, just as a test run, Sprawl. That game I mentioned a couple episodes ago, I think, that I would do alongside some other games. And that game is interesting because it kind of has like this old school visual style, but it's also not, like, it's modern and everything looks kind of realistic. Okay, I swear this was a trap. Why do I distinctly remember getting shot here? Whatever. And it really goes to show how those kind of solutions can impact performance, because that game unassumedly is quite demanding. I mean, it's very pretty. Well, what's interesting is it's very small, and that game to me is proof that you don't really need super high-res textures to have something look realistic. I mean, you don't need high-res textures to make something look good, because there's tons of games that have pulled that off now, because pixel art has an appeal. But it's not just that, because some people believe that you need 4K textures or some shit to make something look realistic, but that's just not true. That game at times can look straight up real, but it's only because of the texture work and the environments and the lighting and the colors, because the texture resolution is ridiculously small. I swear it's smaller than Half-Life 98. You know, it's super tiny textures, very low res, but they look great. It's just the texture artists did a fantastic job squeezing as much out of that low resolution as they could. And they created something that looks like in motion, not necessarily at a standstill, but in motion, it looks like real life, almost. Like it's ridiculously good looking, especially when you obviously turn a motion blur on. It kind of hides some of the stuff, but I think even though I'm going to be doing the playthrough at 30 FPS just like this, I'm going to be doing all of them at 30, although at a higher than average bit rate than what I usually record, so you guys are ultimately getting a clearer image. Are these interactable? Of course not. They're just inverted. I just realized, like, they've inverted the black and white. But despite that, you know, even though it's at 30, I'm still going to keep the motion blur off. I don't think anyone wants to see that, you know, because typically 30 FPS is the ideal frame rate for using motion blur. In fact, that's generally why that kind of motion blur became so popular during the 7th generation, because that's when games started to prioritize graphical quality over performance. On console, on PC, you could have it all, obviously. Okay, hold on. Let me just make 100% sure. Enable God mode. Make 100% sure I'm not really missing anything integral to level progression, right? Oh, yep. I was gonna miss that. Look at that. I'm gonna keep God mode on until I'm back to full shields, to be honest. In fact, there's an upcoming... See, I got another trap. There's an upcoming section of this level that I have no idea how you're supposed to go through it like normally, because there's just lightning everywhere. You're gonna see it. We're gonna get to it not too long after. This level, despite it being the final, isn't too long. This episode probably won't run that much longer than you know, like your average episode of this series, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. I don't really believe in, oh, the longer the better the level, and then it'll be better for everyone. No, not necessarily. You don't want a frustrating, like, slog of a final level. Yeah, it's got to be climactic and cool, but there's ways to do climactic other than make it take forever. So in this section, it's really simple. Actually, you just have to shoot these little things to activate the power streams, which are just lasers. You know, I kind of wish they made like a custom asset for this because it just kind of looks weird. What is this? Wait, my favorite voice clip.
Resnick Reanimator.
Ah, Resnick Reanimator. Still, coolest fucking thing. Alright, I think we're done with this section. There's probably nothing. Yeah, there's nothing else to do. Let's go back and we'll see what else we can do. I just realized they've stylized these skulls as torches. That's really cool. And I like how they're just flat textures. And these doors have teeth. This level's got some really interesting art design. It is just, you know, all the same assets from the previous stage. You know, I wonder if maybe these assets were made just for the N64 version, then they decided to just throw them in there anyway. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure how many of the levels that, like, this version, the Nightdive version, has were initially part of the N64 campaign, because only a few of these stages are bonus. I don't know, because some of them just look really, really familiar to me. Alright, diving into the fancy Nightdive water again. You know, it's interesting, actually, because remember when, like, Half-Life Source got a lot of shit for having the... I mean, it got shit for a lot of good reasons, but also the fact that it had this, like, super realistic water that didn't really fit the aesthetic. And, you know, I've always kind of been a fan. Maybe that's why, because that game came out around the time I was a kid. But I've always kind of enjoyed the look of modern, you know, for example, water effects combined with... I mean, I think I've already talked about this. Yeah, it's like, again, it's the foundation of Minecraft shaders. Why does everyone like that? Because you put all these fancy lighting effects with, you know, juxtaposed against these not so fancy textures and models, and it creates an interesting contrast, and I think there's a lot of room for that to grow. This door has jammed shut. Find another way out. Yeah, I think that art direction has a lot of potential, and it's really cool that games nowadays are kind of picking up on that. Now, of course, it has to be done tastefully. You don't want a Kingpin Reloaded where the fucking shadows are like... They just exist, but they don't necessarily... It's like they told the graphic artists, okay, so every game now has really cool real-time shadows, right? So do that. But, sir, this game's engine does not support that. We can't just put the shadows in. I don't care. Just have random black blobs come out of the characters' backs. I literally do not give a shit. Do as I say. Okay, it's gonna look terrible. I don't care. Okay. And that's it. That's just how it turned out. I don't know. Kingpin Reloaded was just like... It made, I think... Well, the good news was that they didn't remove anything, because that game was... I can't really... It's weird to think that game was controversial for its time, but also kind of not, because people have always been really pissy. But I can't really think of any legitimate improvements that it made. I mean, other than, you know, widescreen support and being technically better, but not actually, you know, better. You can just play the original approach. Okay, this is the bit that I was talking about. No, wait, this isn't the bit that I was talking about. I mean, yeah, it's filled with enemies, which if I weren't invincible right now, I would be fucking... You know what? I got plenty of shield. Come at me. Let's see how this goes. And I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. No. Oh, yep, I knew it. Fuck it. Oh, just go for it. Wait, why do I have... Oh, because I have no fucking, ammo. I forgot. Yeah, because the ammo in this game, it works... I've already described this. It works differently. It's not just a matter of whether or not you're able to shoot at all. You can always shoot. Technically, you have infinite ammo, but you can't shoot that much when you have no ammo. You know what I mean? It's just like you shoot like one pellet every few seconds, and it's just... It's not really playable. You need as much of this shit as you can. Also, this thing, you don't really have to destroy it, but it is destructible, I believe. I think I remember destroying it on my test playthrough. So, then you can. There's no reason to do it, but, like, you don't get anything for it either. There's nothing hiding behind it, I don't think. Trojax, okay. And now we just have to go back. So this wasn't the section that I was thinking of that was absolutely brutal. Unless you do have to shoot him. You know, fuck it. Let's blow him up. I'll just make sure that I'm using a alt-fire that is actually worth a damn. There you go. See, it's gone. Oh, it gives you some gold that you do want to do that then, if you're going for 100%. Now, I've already talked about this. I haven't really cared for 100%. ever, to be honest. But, you know, if you care about that, go ahead. Fucking destroy that thing, get that gold. But it doesn't unlock the door. I thought it would. It doesn't. So now we just gotta keep going through basically the exact same section of level design, but with fewer enemies, funnily enough. Did you see that fucker just spin like 3 billion times? Man, remember when like every single gaming video ever had like a moment where if the guy playing it spots something spinning and they would edit "You spin me right round," but you know, that song over it. That song was just destined to become a shitpost, honestly. It is actually a pretty catchy song. Wait, is this fucking toxic? Wait, this... Oh, fuck, I just realized. This water is actually toxic. I didn't realize because, well, I was using God mode, but... Wait, that's stupid. That's actually really fucking bad design because... I mean, okay, sure, I'll die, whatever. But... How the hell are you supposed to get through, then? Unless, you know, without just tanking it. That should never be a thing in a game. Like, ever. You should never have to just tank damage. I mean, okay, sure, Mega Man did it sometimes, and okay, lots of games from that time did it on the NES, but this was a fucking PC game of the late 90s. And it was also on, you know, PS1 and 64. Like, what the fuck? So they just want me to tank it. They just want me to go through as quickly as possible. Well, okay, I'll do that. Go, 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 go. Okay, there. Oh. Okay, that wasn't so bad, actually. I thought I would take a lot more damage than I did. I completely forgot about these doors that open like a puzzle. Making our way through the tunnel and killing these guys. Yeah, a lot of turrets. The fire pit has now been subdued. Oh boy. I'm guessing that means we have to go back to the main area. Give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that. We're going... Oh, wait, we were just in the fire pit. Okay, great. I'm guessing now one of these doors is open like it used to not be, right? Yep, one of these is now accessible. This one, go. Yep, this should be a new area. You are now entering the inner temple. Okay, this is the bit. Watch this shit, okay? I'm getting my fucking ass kicked already by turrets that I can't shoot. I mean, I can shoot them, but... Like, if this isn't bad enough, watch what happens when I fucking fly into this area. Okay, just make sure I don't die, because I'm super low health. So, if I remember correctly, once I step foot in here, well, I'm flying, whatever. Just tippy-toe, very carefully. Fuck! There it is.
Have to take it easy sometimes.
No, you're not going to take it easy. I have no idea what we're supposed to do. Is there any way to disable this? Or is it just one of those, fuck it, just tank the hits? Well, I got a lot of lives, but... Well, let's find out. Fuck it, go. Nope. Okay, what are you supposed to do there? Because that rips for your health. Like, even with full shield, there's nothing you can really do about that. There's gotta be something that you can, like, hit, like a switch. Something that convinces the electricity not to come, unless you fucking do this. No, that still damages you. I thought I could use those, like, cubby holes, you know, to hide from the laser, but I guess not. Seriously, what is the intended solution? I know what my solution is. It's 3 letters on the keyboard. But I don't know what the genuine game design solution is right now to this problem. So you walk in and just instantly it starts to fucking shoot at you. There. And do you just try to maneuver around it? It's just an area of effect type thing. I guess you just have to just get lucky? That can't be the right way to do it. There's no way they would just say, yeah, dude, just... I mean, is this the meta? Drop your shield and then oh my god, that might be the fucking meta. Drop your shield and then pick it up as you go. Jesus Christ, that's some fucking Bear Grylls drinking your own piss type shit. Look at this. Like, you have to fucking die to then pick up your own shields, and I truly don't understand what you're supposed to do in this section. I'm just not even going to bother with this, to be honest. No shame. I'm just going to do this. Let's look a little... Yeah, I can't speak. Let's look around. Really, what could you possibly do here? Is there anything you can activate? There's this. No, that doesn't... I thought that would shut the lasers off, but no, it doesn't. Maybe you're supposed to come here sooner? Before you've angered the gods or some shit, and then it doesn't hurt you? I really don't know what they were thinking with that section. What... If anyone knows, like, let me know, but there's no clear... Okay, we got the fucking grav gone again, which means that just gotta sit here and wait for this to run out. Yep, fun. I'm still having a good time, honestly. I really love this game. It's just these design decisions don't make sense to me. Okay, well, we're past that point. Let's disable God mode again. The ancient gods reward the brave. Aha. I know this. This is a trick. What you're not supposed to do is pick that thing up. I'm not going to pick up that weapon. I mean, I'm not going to use it anyway, to be honest. I'm going to kill all these dudes, try not to pick up the weapon, because then it says some shit like, but punishes the something. I'm not sure what it was. Not the greedy. That's what you think it would be, but no, punishes the something. I don't care, but I'm not going to pick it up. So you don't screw me over, game. Even I'm not actually sure if it spawns any more enemies than it would have. In fact, I'm pretty sure those enemies were just going to spawn there regardless. Like, maybe that was the intent. Like, they knew, you know, little guinea pig would just pick up the fucking thing anyway. You must previously... Okay, yeah. Serious Sam moment. You just fucking shoot the guys until they all die, and then it opens up the thing, right? Exactly. That's how this section works. And just like that, this is... Wait, hold on. You lied to me. I thought I had to kill them all, but I clearly haven't killed them all, and yet the thing is already open, and it's spawned... Oh, I guess that's the whole point. You're gonna summon in even more for me to prove myself. I can prove that I can type in 3 letters on my keyboard. Not as good. Okay, I think I actually... Yeah, I'm taking damage right now, so this will actually be a true test of my ability of playing this 6 Degrees of Freedom shooter that I really only play just for the spectacle, because it's really fucking good, and the music is great as well. Hey, look at that guy. I'm gonna assume I gotta take him out. Now, is he just gonna sit there? Oh shit, he's just gonna sit there like a bitch. He just took it. Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting it to be that easy. Now, this is basically the final section of the level. What you do is, you shoot this thing. And yeah, this is the escape route. Now there's gonna be a big motherfucker. He's gonna spawn in. The avatar approaches. Which avatar? The anime one or the blue one? Oh, this one. Yeah, the one with all the freaking rockets. Now, I have no idea what I've selected. I got the Purge Mine selected, which means I'm not going to use my alt fire, and I have no...
Better things to do with my time, you know.
Well, that was fast. Fuck. Yeah, okay. Now you got to get out. Get the thing, to get the gold, because you want it. So just open this area up, and now, fortunately, we actually know what to do. Because let me tell you, when I first did this shit, well, I didn't know what to do, so I died. And yeah, regardless of whether or not you're using God mode, it's just like the kind of thing where, even if you have lives, that's the crazy thing. The game has the audacity, even if you have more lives left over, when you run out of time, it just goes game over. You know, like it's a fucking arcade game, and you go all the way back. I mean, you know, so you can just save, because this game, this is a PC game, you can just create a save point. But it's still just really weird how the game just totally changes at that point. And also, you're not going to see it in this playthrough, unless I do it intentionally, but probably not going to do that. But when the timer starts to run really low, it gets way bigger on the screen. It's like all spooky and like, oh, you better get out of there in time. Oh, look at that. Conveniently, this section now doesn't have the electricity. I wonder why they did that. Fuck, do I actually have to take all these bastards out and then I can open? I do not remember that from my test playthrough. That might be what you have to do, and I just took them out without even realizing it. At least all these tank guys. Okay, please, can I go through now? I don't want to be fucking locked in this area. Oh, thank God. Okay, there you go. We're moving through, opening up the teeth, and now at this point, just get the fuck out. Okay, gotta find the path. This one. This is the one. Yeah, whatever. You can ignore that deathmatch guy. There's a bot. There you go. We missed the crystal, but that's fine. We don't really care about that. Go here and shoot this as fast as you fucking can, and this is the end of the level, I believe. So that was Forsaken. Interesting that it says Nightdive Studios at the start, considering that this game wasn't really made by them, but I'm sure it'll credit the original developers as well. And yeah, it's gonna play that version of the really cool song that we heard. I'm not sure which part, the one with all the arpeggios and stuff, all the really fast notes. Yep, that one. Oh, it's the original. I thought it was gonna play the studio version, the one I mentioned with the different sounding lead part, but I guess not. So closing thoughts. Forsaken is an excellent spectacle game. You've probably noticed through my blatant disregard of the game's true difficulty that I don't particularly care to play this legit, and it's because it's just so fun. You just fucking shoot everyone away, listen to the ricocheting sound effects. Speaking of ricochet, no, we're not doing ricochet. You know, you bang your fucking head to the drum and bass music. Well, it's not all drum and bass, but it's still a really catchy, really great soundtrack, exactly as something you would expect from the guys who made Revolt, of course. The level tropes they're obviously tried and tested, you know, temples and industrial areas and stuff, but they have their own unique look. And again, I really appreciate the fact that for whatever reason, every single door in the game is like a different door. It's such a small detail, but I swear it might have just been a thing in development. It's like they just didn't have an existing door preset, so just went, fuck it, just make it different every time. So there are some door assets you just never see again. I don't know, that stuck out to me as like a particular thing. But yeah, the weapons are all really satisfying to use. You don't really use the flamethrower all that much though, which, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense for this kind of game. I used to kind of have this kind of snobby opinion of, oh no, Descent is so much better, and Descent is great. Descent is amazing, and it totally inspired this. It's without question, and Descent 2 is also very good. They both have great soundtracks as well, really fun games, but I feel like this is definitely the better experience in the modern day just by virtue of the way that it plays. Like, if you could just somehow reverse engineer like Guidebot from Descent 2 into this would just be like boom, instant. Although I don't know, who's to say Nightdive can't just like patch in the freaking Quake 2 navigational system, the one they added in their remake of Quake 2, where you just kind of hit Q and bada boom, you know where to go instantly. So that was amazing. Although the map definitely helped out. If you're gonna play this game, play this version, right? The N64 and PS1 versions are interesting little timepieces, and they're very impressive technically for their systems, especially the PS1 version with its really good frame rate. But obviously, this is the definitive way to play the game. You know, this is not one of those, it's okay for modernization, but just play the original type remasters. No. This is real. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. You know, there are ways to play the old version on PC. There's like Forsaken X, and I don't know, if you want to dick around with fan patches and stuff for the original, you could do that, but no, just play this. This is a much better way to do it. You get all the fancy little modern things, and you can turn them off, of course. You can turn motion blur off. Don't play with motion blur, goddamn. But other than that, I mean, yeah, strong recommendation as you would expect from Nightdive. I mean, like, do they even have a single not good remaster in their catalog? I'm not sure. I have to really dig deep to find out. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this playthrough. This was actually the first one I've recorded, so by the time you're seeing this, I'll be done with a bunch more. So it's going to be interesting seeing the difference in quality in my commentary and editing, but you know, it's a learning experience, just like Vivid Noise, but this is something that I feel like I'm going to be doing for a lot longer, just because you get so much more out of it. I mean, like, this is several months worth of content right here, just because of the way I'm going to be uploading it. Yeah, so I'm going to leave you guys with the credits theme, the absolutely kick-ass music, and I'll see you guys with probably, well, depending on which one of the free games that I decide to upload first. So be it Sprawl, Sonic Mania, or Return to Castle Wolfenstein. See you guys then.